Hi, I'm Marty Nemko. When choosing a counselor, it's tempting to just get a referral from a trusted friend. But it's highly unlikely that with all the counselors out there, that your friend's practitioner is the best and most cost-effective fit. Also, it's overly restrictive to rely on a reference from a professional such as your physician. You see, they rarely see the practitioners they recommend in action. You're seeing a counselor because you've got a serious issue, and it's wise to treat that selection process equally seriously. Here's how you might find the right practitioner, or at least a great one, a great fit one. Search a consumer review site like Yelp. Or if you're looking for a psychotherapist, you might start with Psychology Today's Find a Therapist feature, which is right on its homepage. And when you've identified a few possibilities whose specialty and style seems to fit, then check them out on Yelp. Even their picture might tell you something. If their style of dress and their hair are compatible with yours, it's probably a plus. And if he or she shows herself in nature, for example, in a picture versus in an office, that's a data point, plus or minus as well. And sometimes you just have an intuition that you'd get along and that he or she would get you. Next, Google those prospective counselors by name. And if the counselor has written an article or more, or even their text on their website, do you sense that your style might be compatible? For example, maybe they're heart-centric versus rationality-centric. Maybe they seem slow-paced versus fast-paced. Some of them, by the way, have little videos, introductory videos. Some of them focus on early trauma that you might have had versus here and now. Also, Googling their name often reveals much more about them, their interests, personal interests, their relationships, their affiliations, kudos, and brickbats. So now we get to interviewing a prospective practitioner. Try to interview at least 2 on the phone or Skype before choosing one. And here's an approach you might take. Thanks for getting back to me promptly. May I ask you what sorts of problems and sorts of clients you've been quite helpful with? You see, by asking that first, rather than first describing your situation, you're more likely to get an unbiased response. If the practitioner's answer suggests a poor fit, it still may be tempting to go on with the conversation, but consider ending it there because you want somebody particularly effective with someone like you. Even if the practitioner's later answers feel good, that's probably insufficient to outweigh the poor fit problem. If you do decide to continue the conversation, ask something like, might I briefly describe my situation to you and you give me some idea of if and how you might like to work with me? Then listen carefully, trust both your head and your heart. If you still think this person might be a good fit, ask about price, not just the per session cost, but how many sessions that person would guess you'll likely end up having. That'll give you a sense of your likely total commitment in money and in time. If you're interested in sessions by phone or Skype, ask how the practitioner feels about that versus in-person sessions. Unless you're quite sure that the person is worth at least one trial session, end with something like, I've appreciated your talking with me, and I'm going to speak with 1 or 2 other practitioners, and I'll get back to you either way. And again, I do thank you so much for talking with me. It was very helpful. After you've gotten off the phone, ask yourself, does this practitioner seem to get you? Not only do you sense that even in that brief interview she seems to understand you and your situation, but you feel good about how she would proceed and the likely steps forward. After having spoken with 2 or 3 practitioners, it's time to decide. Should you have a trial session with 1, with 2? Or does your intuition tell you that for now at least, a bit more self-help would be wiser? In any event, I'm Marty Nemko. Thank you for watching. Feel free to give us a thumbs up or a thumbs down as you see fit, to write a comment, to share, and to hit the subscribe button. Okay, and again, I am Marty Nemko. Thanks for watching.